Here's the only guide you're gonna need for the brand new smithing update in Roblox Grow a Garden. We're gonna be going over all of the new pets, all of the new seeds, and every single new feature that's been added inside of this update. As always, hit that like and subscribe button. Anyways, here is the new update. As you guys can see, this update is very focused on making stuff, aka crafting, because apparently people like crafting. I'm not complaining, this is something new, but this update does get a little bit repetitive after some while. I'm gonna explain why, but first things first, let's go ahead and look at every single thing. So first we have this NPC right over here. This is going to be the blacksmith NPC. And basically this guy lets you guys use this furnace, which you can use to forge things. It's hard to explain this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys how this works. So to go ahead and do this, you're first gonna need a fruit, you're gonna need an egg, and you're gonna need a gear. So let's go ahead and start with a fruit. I'm going to use a simple zebra zinkly right here. Now for our egg, I actually want to try and see if I can use maybe a pet instead of an egg. So I have this geo turtle here, which is a brand new pet. We're going to come back to this, but for now, let me see if I can submit this. No, it has to be an egg. Okay, interesting. Luckily, I have a lot of spooky eggs, so let's go ahead and use these. There you go, submit that. And finally, we need a gear item. Once again, I have a lot of trading tickets, so let's go ahead and submit these. And there you go, guys, we just got ourselves some common coal. And yes, coal is gonna play a major role in today's update. For example, if we go over to the craft gears section, as you guys can see, we have 4 new gears here. We have the small treat, which basically goes ahead and gives our pet a small XP boost over time, or should I really say small, it's a large XP boost, followed by a pet shard forger. We're gonna come back to this one in a second. We also have the smith hammer of harvest, and this thing is pretty cool because it's basically a harvest all back into the game. As you guys know, previously we had a harvest all right here for 9 Robux, which has now been removed, but it is now been put back into the game. And finally, guys, we have a thunder bringer. Interesting name, but basically this thing summons a lightning bolt into your garden. I have one right here, so let's go ahead and use this and see what it looks like. And wow, okay, that sucked. So I thought that it would summon the lightning bolt right where I struck it, but no, apparently it just summons it somewhere randomly. That kind of sucks, actually. Considering how long this thing takes to make, and you need legendary coal and divine coal for this, that kind of was awful. Which brings me on to my next point. There is different rarities of coal, so we have common coal, we have rare coal, we have legendary coal, and finally divine coal. All of these coals can be obtained from this guy right here by simply submitting plants and eggs, and of course gears. And yeah, check that out, I got myself common coal again. So if you keep on doing this, obviously you are going to get yourself some better coal at some point. Oh, there you go, just got myself rare coal. By the way, the tier of the plant does not really matter, I've noticed. I mean, the tier of anything does not matter. As you guys can see, I just submitted the same thing over and over again, and for some reason this time I just got legendary coal. So it does not matter if the size of your zebra zinkly or any other fruit is huge. It does not matter if you're using a spooky egg or a common egg, and it does not matter if you're using a trading ticket or a grandmaster sprinkler. All of them simply give you the same loot, it seems like. Of course, I'm gonna test this a little bit more, but as of now, that is what I think is happening here, because yeah, check that out, I'm getting common coal again. Anyways, moving on, we have new cosmetics right here, and most of these are, well, cosmetic, but they do look pretty cool and they are very expensive to craft. So first things first, we have the anvil, which once again is purely cosmetic. We have the tool rack, the coal box, blacksmith grinder, shield statue, and finally the horseshoe magnet. Now this one is actually interesting because it's basically just like the pancake stack, which is really cool. I'm glad to see the pancake stack back into the game. So as you guys can see, I have it in my game right here, and it doesn't seem to be working on my dogs, so I think it only works on certain animals. I'm really not sure what animals this works on yet, but hopefully the wiki is gonna update soon and we're gonna find out what it actually works on. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the brand new pets that we got in this update, because this is actually kind of exciting. So first things first, we have the gem egg. We also have the smithing dog, which basically goes ahead and digs up coal, which again is useful because every single thing in this update requires you to have coal. And finally, we have the cheetah. I know, completely random pet, but but occasionally turns you into a cheetah for a duration. Harvested fruit during this time have a chance to get the wild fast mutation. Feels like a scrapped pet from last update. The safari update has just been put into this update for some reason. But yeah, pretty cool. You turn into a cheetah and whatnot. Kind of sick. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the brand new seeds, and we actually have 3 new seeds this update. The first one being a olive, the second one being a hollow bamboo, and the third one being a yarrow. Once again, we're going to come back to the prices of these seeds in just a second. But for now, let's go ahead and talk about some other changes that have been made in the game itself. First things first, the gem egg is now inside of the egg shop, meaning this is a permanent egg in the game. So these are all of the pets inside of the gem egg. We're going to come back to these in a second, but yeah, this is now a permanent egg inside of the game, just like the jungle egg and the bug egg. So that's pretty cool. We also have a second change that I feel like might be bad, but let me show you. If we go over to Sam and we scroll over to the divine section, you're gonna notice that we have a new seed, a sunflower seed. Pretty cool, right? A new divine sunflower seed. That's pretty sick. But the only issue is the sunflower seed has existed in the game for months now. In fact, this is a OG seed that you could get from the flower seed pack back in May. Guys, this was a 0.5% chance to get from the flower seed pack. So people actually grinded for this for hours and hours. And now the Grow a Garden devs have just brought it into the game for 279 Robux. What the hell? I'm not sure if this is the same sunflower seed or if this is like a debuffed sunflower seed, I guess, or a nerfed sunflower seed, I should call it. But it's really weird that they brought back the 0.5% seed just back in the game like it's nothing. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. I'm not even sure if this is gonna make it to the main game. I feel like they might just be testing with this, but if it does make it to the main game, I know it's gonna cause a little bit of chaos. Now you might think that's it. Nope. There is one major feature inside of this update. Let's go over to the shop, and as you guys can see, digging is officially back. If you go ahead and click on dig now, this is basically like the digging game we had back in the day. And yeah, check that out. You get a bunch of things for digging inside of the game. And these are all of the rewards you can get out of digging. So we have a new coal, we have a new digging crate, which has a bunch of new cosmetic items. By the way, we have something called a seed display. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be, but I'm really excited to find out. We have about 2 new seeds inside of this. Oh no, 3 new seeds inside of this. 4 new pets inside of the digging quest itself. A Grandmaster Sprinkler, silver lollipops and whatnot. So pretty cool. We also have the geode egg here. So yeah, I'm happy to see the digging quest back into the game. A lot of people really like this. It can be a little bit annoying sometimes when you keep on missing, but yeah, this is honestly really fun, and I'm glad to see it back in the game. Once again, most of the seeds and the pets are also inside of the quest itself, so that is why you can't craft many of them. So if you get bored of crafting, you can just go digging, which is pretty neat. Okay, so one other major thing that I completely missed out on, because it is actually a secret in this update, is going to be something insane. So for this, you are going to need a level 100 pet. At least that's what I have found in my experience. But here we have a level 100 pet, and yeah, you basically just need this inside your inventory or placed in your garden. And now if you go ahead and go over to the pet shop right here, as you guys can see in this corner of the map, we have a new machine, and this might actually break the game. So this is going to be the pet age break machine, and to use this, you are going to need a pet that is level 100 and above. So as I mentioned before, I have my mimic octopus right here, and basically if I go ahead and submit this into this, you can simply go ahead and choose a duplicate pet of the mimic octopus to get yourself 1 extra level. I hope that makes sense. You can basically go ahead and age your pet over 100 now, which is insane. I'm not sure if that is a bit too OP, but yeah, this is kind of insane. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and try this on my black cat because I do have multiple of these. But let's go ahead and pop this right in there and select a dupe, and check this out, guys. So if I basically go ahead and choose one of these cats, okay, I choose this one, and let's go ahead and hit submit. Are you sure you want to use this pet as the dupe? Black cat, age 1. This will fuse with this pet into a higher level pet. So let's go ahead and hit confirm, and as you guys can see, this is gonna take an hour. So let's let's go ahead and skip this. And boom. Okay, it is done. And I think our black cat should be level 101 now. So there you go. That's actually kind of insane. We now have a cat that is age 101. So you can go ahead and use this machine once again to dupe another one. But as you guys can see, the cost of duping has doubled now. So this, I believe, is going to continue to double over and over again. Let's go ahead and submit this once again. Confirm. And there you go. It is once again breaking the age of the pet. And let's go ahead and skip this. And now our cat is age 102. Once again, if we go ahead and submit this in there, as you guys can see, this has increased by 5 billion. So it only seems to be increasing by 5 billion every single time. So actually, that's not too bad. But I guess the most expensive and the most annoying thing about age breaking is, of course, getting a duplicate pet of the specific pet that you are trying to age break of. Most people are going to try and age break super rare pets like elephants and whatnot. So trying to get multiple elephants like this is going to be super difficult. But I believe the max level you can get a age broken pet now is 125. Correct me if I'm wrong, but at least from what I've seen, that is the max level you can get your pets to now. Obviously, for casual players, this isn't going to be a big deal, but for those who like to try hard pets in this game, well, this is huge news for them. Anyways, let's now go ahead and move on to all of the brand new seeds that we got inside of this update. So the first 3 seeds can be crafted right here. We have the olive, hollow bamboo, and finally the yarrow. So first things first, here is what the olive is going to look like. Let's go ahead and collect this and see how much it sells for. So starting off with the smallest olive I have, let's see how much this is worth. And as you guys can see, that's about 18,000 shekels. A slightly bigger one is about 27,000 shekels. And the largest one I have is about 30,000 shekels. So honestly, nothing too crazy, but I guess the olive tree looks kind of cool. I don't know. Moving on to the hollow bamboo, this is going to be a multi-harvest plant, so not just a one-time harvest plant. And the cool thing is you can hide inside of it for some reason, so that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and see how much this thing is worth, and this is going to be about 100,000 shekels, which is not bad at all. The only sad part is you can only get one of these at a time, and then you have to wait for it to grow back and whatnot, so that is kind of annoying. Anyways, next up we have the yarrow, and this is what it's going to look like. But the fruits are not done growing yet, so we're going to give that a few more minutes, and we're going to come back to that in a second. For now though, let's go ahead and move on to some of the other plants that have been added inside of this update, and this is going to be through digging. So inside of the digging section, we actually have 3 new plants. First of all, we have the Illumin Bloom, we have the Luna Stem, and finally, we have the Zucchini. Starting off with the Illumin Bloom, let's go ahead and see how much this thing sells for. Once again, this is a multi-harvest plant, but you only get one of them at a time. And this thing is going to be worth about 1,000 shekels. Okay, that has to be wrong, probably because this has not gotten its true value yet. My guess is this thing's probably worth between 20 to 30,000 shekels, maybe even 40,000 shekels, but that's kind of a stretch. But yeah, this is going to be the easiest plant to get from the digging section right here. Moving on, we have the Luna Stem. Let's go ahead and see how much this thing sells for. So this thing is about 70 to maybe 100,000 shekels. Oh yeah, there you go, 120,000 shekels for a slightly larger one, but its normal weight is probably going to give you guys about 60 to 70,000 shekels, so not bad at all. Right, so moving on to the yarrow seed. So this plant is sort of weird because the fruits don't actually grow on the stem itself, but all the way at the top where the flower is. So you kind of have to climb up this entire thing to collect this thing, but there you go, you just get one yarrow fruit. But let's go ahead and see how much this thing actually sells for. So this is what it is going to look like, and this is going to sell for about 153,000 shekels. So yeah, honestly, not a bad fruit at all, but honestly kind of useless because you only get one of them at a time. So that is kind of annoying, but yeah, that's going to be the yarrow fruit. But now, boys and girls, let's go ahead and move on to all of the brand new pets that we got inside of this update. Starting off with the 2 pets that you can get from the shop itself, or sorry, the crafting area itself, and this is going to be the smithing dog and of course the cheetah. So as I mentioned before, the smithing dog is super useful because this guy basically just goes ahead and digs up coal. Moving on, next up we have the cheetah. Now I do have the forged mutation on my cheetah. Just a reminder, the forged mutation can be crafted from the gears section right here. Starting off with the cheetah, every 8 minutes turns you into a cheetah for 32 seconds. Harvested fruit during this time have a 16% chance to get the wild fast mutation. Moving on to the forged mutation, mutation every 12 minutes goes to an active crafting table and advances its crafting by 43 seconds. So yeah, pretty useful to get the forged mutation. If you guys don't have other pets to help you guys speed up crafting, this is a very good mutation to go ahead and put on your pets. It doesn't have to be on the cheetah only, obviously you can put it on any other pets. I recommend putting it on these dogs right here, so you can grind coal and get a boost in crafting at the same time. Moving on, next up we have all of these pets inside of the gem egg, and as I mentioned before, gem egg is probably going to be in the game forever, starting off with the topaz snail. So here is what the topaz snail is going to look like. Honestly, it looks really cool. Unfortunately, its ability is kind of useless. When triggering a lucky harvest, there is a 7% chance that you get a cleansing pet shard, max 50%. So yeah, unless you're in dire need of cleansing pet shards, this pet is honestly kind of useless. Considering how easy it is to get cleansing shards from the shop itself, I don't see a lot of people using this pet, but anyways, let's go ahead and move on. Next up on the list, we have the amethyst beetle, and this is what it is gonna look like. Honestly, it looks really cool, but unfortunately, this is a reused asset or a reused model from a previous update. If you guys know what update I'm talking about, let me know in the comments down below, but yeah, this is not a new model, unfortunately, which kind of sucks, but let's go ahead and see what its ability actually is. Every 6 minutes, initiates a battle with another player's beetle. If your beetle wins, you get a reward. The higher the level and heavier the beetle, the more likely it is to win. So yeah, it's basically like the previous beetle we got in the game, so like literally nothing has changed. It is the exact same thing, which kind of sucks, and from what I've seen, the rewards are also just mediocre. You get like harvesting tools and whatnot, so yeah, it's honestly alright. It's an alright pet. Next up on the list, we have the emerald snake and the sapphire macaw. Once again, reuse textures all the way, but let's go ahead and see what these things do. Now, the emerald snake is actually pretty cool. Every 7 minutes, it goes to a random fruit and converts it into a random gem-themed cosmetic. So this is a new way to get cosmetic items in the game right now, and as you guys can see, I've actually managed to get a bunch of these cosmetic items. For example, this gem light right here and this gem bookshelf, which looks really cool. Also managed to get this guy right here. So yeah, you can get a bunch of cosmetic items using the emerald snake. So honestly, a very cool idea, and who doesn't love some cosmetic items? It's just really cool. Oh, we just got ourselves some beetle juice. Not sure what that's supposed to be. Gives 100 XP to your beetle type pet. So yeah, honestly, once again, just reused asset from previous updates. Moving on to the sapphire macaw, and yeah, basically looks like any other macaw in the game. Every 8 minutes has a 16% chance to mutate a nearby fruit with the crystallized mutation. We're gonna let this guy cook, and we're gonna see what the crystallized mutation actually looks like. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the final two, the 0.5% pets, and this is gonna be the ruby squid and the diamond panther. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the ruby squid. Once again, shout outs to 11th Doctor. I feel like this guy keeps on making appearances in my video, but yeah, this is his ruby squid. This thing is a 0.5% chance to get from the new gem egg. But if we go ahead and check out what this thing does, let's go ahead and place it down. This thing will continuously copy a random pet's passive, non-cooldown based. Basically, what that means is if your pet does not have a timer next to its name, this thing is going to mimic its ability. For example, something like the topaz snail. This thing does not have a timer, meaning the ruby squid is actually going to go ahead and copy its ability. So it's kind of like the mimic octopus, but of course, the mimic octopus only mimics things that have a cooldown timer, and this thing is like the opposite of that. Now, how useful is that? You guys let me know in the comments down below. Personally, I feel like the mimic octopus is still way more useful than this thing, but I'm just glad we have an option for pets that don't have a timer. Oh, there you go. It just went ahead and did its ability, and as you guys can see, it just copied topaz snail's ability. So yeah, this is pretty cool. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the big guy, the panther, and this is what it is going to look like. When harvesting a fruit with 12 or more mutations, there is a 4% chance for a random pet to age up by 1. This might be a little bit confusing, but let's say you guys have multiple pets inside of your garden and you're harvesting a plant with 12 or more mutations. This is going to make one of your pets inside of your garden level up by age 1. Now, you could just equip one pet only and age up that one singular pet by collecting plants with 12 or more mutations. Also, getting 12 or more mutations is honestly not that difficult if you really think about it. If you actively try and get 12 mutations, I think it shouldn't be too difficult. It's not easy is what I'm trying to say, but yeah, this pet is honestly pretty decent. I think think it's okay. Not the worst thing I've ever seen. I see a lot of people using it, especially with the new age break machine. I feel like a lot of people are gonna be happy to have this in the game, honestly. But hold on, that is not all the pets, because we have even more pets in this update. If we go back into the shop, as you guys can see inside the digging section, we have 3 more pets inside of this place. This is going to be the geode turtle, the trapdoor spider, and the goblin miner. Here is the new geode turtle. This is going to be a rare pet, and this guy every 6 minutes converts an advanced sprinkler into a geode sprinkler, which applies the new geode mutation. So yeah, that's a brand new mutation that we got in this update. We also have a bunch of weather events inside of this update. The first one being smithing fever, hammers swirl, increasing chances for a fruit to turn tempered, which is a brand new mutation. The tempered mutation has a ×6 money multiplier, so pretty decent. We also have the smithing storm, blacksmith furnace grants a 10x craft speed, and we also have something called the alien aurora, increased alienated fruit chance. Now to unlock these 2 mutations right here, you basically just need to keep on submitting stuff to this NPC right here. And yeah, there is a 8% chance, if I'm not wrong, to unlock these mutations or these weather events from this NPC quest right here. Oh, we just got ourselves another cosmetic item from the beetle, so let's go ahead and see what this looks like. And yeah, check that out, it looks pretty decent. With that being said, guys, that's pretty much everything I have for you. If you guys found this video just even a tiny bit helpful, drop a like and subscribe, as it helps me out a bunch. As you guys can probably tell, these videos take a very long time to make, so please subscribe if you find these videos helpful. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.